Nice, you're already in the game. Awesome. What server are you in?
Oh shit, I was thinking this might be you. I wonder why you had a random name. Who's Radamantis? Are you in here?
That's not me.
Dude, that invited me.
Yeah, you just wanted to party up.
So that was my first question about like multiple characters. I guess is it server based? Like, can you, or do you only have one character linked to your account?
It is not server based, so you can take your pocket watches wherever, whichever server you want. You don't need to leave. I see you're in New York, Charlie. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where I was, so. I'm indeed. Welcome to Big Time. Get you started, see if you can find the center of town. Vendors, class trainers, standard MMO fare here. Okay, so I guess first step, I gotta leave this guy's group then.
That would probably be the first step, yeah. Go ahead and press P to manage your party.
Also, how's the volume, guys? Does it sound alright? Does it sound alright? And can you hear Jay alright as well? Proximity chat? I don't think so.
No proximity chat yet.
If there's voice chat in the game, is there?
No, not yet. Okay, so you chose a Quantum Fixer. That's great. Quantum Fixer is kind of like the healer of the group. Pretty straightforward. It's basically like a cleric or a paladin. We're gonna do like a quick sort of just quick tutorial. Then we'll go. I'm gonna go get another pocket watch, and we can go sort of talk about each class, figure out how to get different starter pocket watches, and go over how your inventory and abilities work. But for now, the first thing I want to show you is to dash. You can double tap any direction. It can be really handy in combat because you can kind of force an evasion to make sure you don't get hit. Sometimes there'll be like evasion sort of rolls and stuff like that where obviously the monster will just miss you, but you can dodge, especially those really heavy attacks. And yeah, so we're gonna go over to Watertown. You can see this is like the basic sort of starter town here. All these sort of androids leading up to the town just give you a little bit of extra flavor text about Time's End. And actually, I'm going to add you to my party. So Watertown is kind of like where you want to go to sell all your stuff, stock up on supplies, and also it's one of the best places to go if you're trying to find a party. People will often come here, add a bunch of people into their party, sell a bunch of stuff, and then get teleported back into kind of where they're doing their dungeons. Different Vendroids do different things. This orange one decrypts items that like you can't see. You need the bot to tell you what the items are. Artifact Fragment Trader. If you collect 10 NFT artifacts fragments, you might get an NFT. It's kind of like a slot machine, or you might get like a random item. And then just like basic, armor, items, accessories, that sort of stuff. Sort of androids. But we're gonna go up top here and take a look at where we can get all the other starter pocket watches, and we'll do a little quick tutorial up there.
Let's go.
So this shrine here, this is how you can reset all your stats. So say you allocate all your points, but then you're like, actually I don't like how my stats and skill points are allocated. You can go ahead and spend 1,000 gold and reallocate them. So pretty handy.
And it stays at 1,000, or does it go up?
It stays at 1,000. So this is where you can get your starter pocket watches. You got Time Warrior, we got the Shadow Blade, Quantum Fixer here, or Chronomancer, and then Quantum Fixer here. Each one of these pocket watches are like, have you ever played like a game like Dungeons and Dragons, like a tabletop RPG?
Yeah, a little bit.
So basically think about a pocket watch as a character sheet. And when you get your character sheet from these dispensers, they come with all like the base stats. You're basically like, you're getting a non-buffed, specific pocket watch. Great to start out, and all the pocket watches are rank specific now. They used to not be. So what that means is if you're rank 1 or rank 0, the only pocket watch that you're really going to be able to use is basically a basic one, like a tier 1 pocket watch. There's up to 5 tiers of pocket watches, or actually 6 tiers of pocket watches, sorry. And then there's also rarities that affect whether or not you're going to be able to use it. So say you had like a tier 6 legendary pocket watch, you wouldn't be able to use that until you manage to get your rank up to like level 40. So how the rank works is it's kind of like an amalgamation of all of the levels of all of the pocket watches that you have. So say I have like a level 30 pocket watch, a level 20 pocket watch, and a level 15 pocket watch. Maybe my rank would be level 40. And if you press tab, you can see, tab or I, either one works. You can see in the top left corner your level and your rank. So you're rank 1 and level 1, but I'm rank 21 and level 4 right now, right? Because my pocket watch is level 4, but the amalgamation of all my pocket watch levels together has me at rank 21. Does that make sense?
Yep, I get you.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with having multiple character sheets, but when you look on the right-hand side, you see that larger inventory space. That larger inventory space is shared amongst all of your pocket watches. But down below there, there's 2 bag slots. Those bag slots are specific to that pocket watch. So you can have multiple pocket watches with multiple bags. So you can kind of like manage your inventory that way. And obviously some of the bags that you can get later on are pretty much, they're the same size as the common space. So say you have like 3 pocket watches and they all have nice bags, then you get quite a bit of inventory. You can put your pocket watches in your bags to like manage your storage even more. So yeah, now your skill tree. So as a healer, you probably want to focus on light heal first. That's your skill tree is up top there. As you level up, you're going to be able to boost different sort of skills and abilities. And also, let's just quickly go back to your inventory now that we're thinking about skill trees. On the left-hand side of your inventory, you can see the pocket watch that you have equipped in your timeline, and you see how it says change timeline. Below that, it says gears. Gears augment your pocket watch, and there are some gears that give you new spells and abilities that you can do. Some of them are like, you really want to seek after them. So like an example of a skill that you can get as a quantum fixer are a bunch of different types of gates that give you buffs when you walk through them. Give you like extra armor, some give you extra damage, some give you extra mana, that kind of stuff. So you can augment your pocket watch is the point. But going back to the skill tree, you get 1 skill point and 2 player stat points to attribute every single level. And since you took out a non-aggro NPC, that was enough to level you up to level 1. So you can go ahead and allocate that skill point. And then when you look at your like player stats, you kind of get a cue about what player stats are important for your class, because they're the ones that already have kind of the most amount of points, stat points allocated to them by default. And we were talking about how these pocket watches are kind of like the base character sheet, right? Since they're the base character sheet, it's best to try and play the vanilla class for this. And what I mean by that is if you get a different pocket watch, there could be all sorts of player stat buffs that allow you to min-max your character to be something quite unique. Because all the items that you equip are stat based, not class based. So as a quantum fixer, if you decided you really liked the mage staff, you could allocate, especially if you had a pocket watch that gave you like plus 20 intelligence, for example, you could start allocating points to allow you to use mage staffs instead, or to wear chronomancer armor that boosts your intelligence. Or heck, as a quantum fixer, you could be like, actually, I really like the dual blades that a shadow blade can use, so I'm gonna use a pocket watch that gives me like a plus in dexterity or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nice. So it's like pretty flexible, similar to like, I guess Guild Wars 2 is kind of like that. I don't know about Guild Wars 1, I don't remember, but where I don't know, does the weapons change what you do? Like I see you have abilities based on your skill tree, so there's like some set delineation between class, right? But you can still like build out of your archetype is what you're saying. Especially
exactly.
A nice pocket watch, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Someone wanted to know, and someone asked me this the other day as well, that they noticed like the sales are in USD coin, but everything is like through the marketplace on the website, right? So are the NFTs like on a blockchain? Is it a private blockchain? Or if not, like what blockchain is it? Or like, do you know any?
Yeah, it's a private blockchain, and I've been meaning to like actually dig into really understanding what their technology is, but I think it's basically like their own version of like a zero knowledge rollup that they use. But they are working on basically being able to bridge those NFTs onto a number of main chains. So not just Ethereum, but also like Solana, like Polygon. Like I've I can't remember the list that I heard them talking about, but it was a pretty extensive list. So there'll be a lot of interoperability there.
I know a lot of devs have been talking about the issue like in the space, and it seems to be coming to kind of a consensus that the blockchain is one of the biggest threats to a game, like having a third-party blockchain. So it kind of makes sense to, I think we'll see a lot more games going in the direction that you're talking about of trying to make like having their own private blockchains so they can control things like end to end, right? You don't end up at the mercy of a third-party team having issues that, you know, can cripple your game, and then just being able to bridge things to other chains.
Yeah,
in a sense, I think.
And you can see like what Big Time's doing these days is they're creating this whole platform called Open Loot, where it's giving other projects, they're giving them a platform to build a marketplace using their blockchain technology that is going to be like interoperable in any other sort of blockchain that they want to sort of transfer their NFTs onto. You just wrecked that Triceratops.
Yeah, that was like a friendly guy. I felt guilty the way it died, and it's just still laying there.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Hey, you're
I know.
Welcome.
These are the fauna.
Fight back, even when I start killing them too. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, they're non-aggro NPCs, so it does kind of feel bad. But those NFT fragments that I was kind of explaining, there's a vendor for earlier. They only come from non-aggro NPCs, so you gotta kill them. So yeah, so that's the basics about the inventory, about the skill trees. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is the cosmetics tab. Yours is going to be empty. If you look at my guy, you can kind of see I've got a bunch of cool items. The cosmetics tab is how you equip those. And
yeah, that axe or that like mace is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. I like it.
So are there like tiers of items, or like there's tiers of
definitely
NFTs for like cosmetics? Okay.
Yeah, so there's uncommon, there's rare, there's epic, there's legendary, and I think that's as high as it goes. There are like mythic spaces, which are technically NFTs, but I'm not sure if there's actually mythic items. I don't think there is. I think it just goes up to legendary, at least right now. All right, so that's a pretty good explainer. Obviously, people are really keen to try and get spaces in Big Time, because that's basically like owning land, and what these spaces will allow you to do in game is A, like it's like your own little pocket dimension, and then B, it'll allow you to craft and upgrade NFTs using in-game materials that you can mine, and then also like augmenting them with pre-existing NFTs and stuff like that. So it's just about to start happening. Like they're doing some tests with mythic and legendary space holders right now, and we should expect to see like a lot more activity in spaces probably by like fall, like mid-late fall. So DonBeJ, if you are having a hard time with your computer, I have heard people say that VSync actually helps in this game. So you might want to try that.
My resolution got switched. I wonder why, because I tried switching off the borderless, and then it went down, but I noticed because I switched the resolution down. That's probably why it went worse now. So, I'll add that on speed.
No worries.
I think it's alright if I'm in full screen, and I had it on 1080, but when I went up to 2K.
Yeah. I'm going to start a new pocket watch. I'll do another warrior. So I'm just going to drop all my equipment and pick it back up again.
Wait, so should I get like a different set so I can like switch out my stuff?
No, that's basically all you'll get. Yeah, you don't really need to. You can also just destroy all that stuff by clicking on the garbage can. And then once you click on the garbage can, you press J.
What are the different classes? Okay, yeah, sorry. So I didn't go through the like loading screen. He did kind of explain it, but basically Chronomancer is kind of like your mage archetype. I'm playing the Quantum Fixer, which is like a paladin archetype. You can see, sword and board healer type. Shadowblade is like a rogue, and then there's the warrior, which is the time warrior.
So I'm gonna pick up a couple items in the shop here just because I don't got nothing.
So can I not just go over there and like get those items and then sell them here? Because it looks like the ones you dropped, are they not?
Yeah, those ones are all going to be a little bit too high level for you. You can either hold on to them or sell them. I don't care.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking that the like generated gear was sellable, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah, no.
So I see there's a quick swap weapon. What's the button for that? Is there a set keybind?
Yeah, so you can toggle between them using F. It's really handy if you have like maybe a one-handed loadout and then a two-handed loadout, because one-handed weapons are effective at taking out certain types of shield, and two-handed weapons are effective at taking out another type of shield. And you can see that by mousing over top of the weapon in your inventory. It says good against, and then it'll show you whether it's good against barrier, shielding, armor, or health. And obviously every weapon is effective against health, but you'll encounter different mobs as you play the game that have different types of shields, and you'll want to be toggling between weapon sets to kind of like break through that kind of armor. All right, well, I've got a few things on, so now I'm good.
Shadow Blade with a mage weapon. What? Why?
That's usually called a Shadowmancer, and it was meta in Silver Pass specifically because if you like min-maxed your Shadow Blade to have like super high intelligence, and then you had a couple of skills like traps and explosive traps, you could basically pull an entire dungeon or close to it, bottleneck it, trap it so that they can't get past, and then use your explosive traps, and they do so much damage you could basically destroy everything in one hit.
Damn. Yeah, okay.
And then obviously
some interesting that open type of build interactions.
Totally.
And there is the potential, to get a nice item, and if you're so inclined, sell it. Now, this game, unlike a lot of the other blockchain games that you might have seen me play before, the NFT items are all cosmetic only, so there's not the same kind of pay-to-win aspect to it, which will either be a plus or a minus, depending on your preference, of course.
Okay. Well said.
So this is a dungeon, right?
Yeah, so basically I'm going to explain a few things. Big Time is a really a party-based game. They really want you to be playing in as big of a party as possible, up to 6 players. And there are modifiers that reward that, especially if you're playing with a party that's all around the same level range. They really reward that. So it's great to play with players who are like the same level with you, or like within like 5 levels of you tops. And they also really want to discourage like being carried through a dungeon. So they also sort of have modifiers that reward you for playing dungeons within your level range. So we're playing a dungeon that's levels 1 to 2. That's great because it sandwiches our levels of 1, right? And say we had like a party with like a level 1, a level 2, a level 3, and a level 4. We'd be wanting to look for a dungeon between level 1 and level 6 or 5, something like that. And that would give us a good starting place for maximizing the drop rates, especially if we're trying to hunt for NFTs. Those are sort of the things we want to look for. And then also just trying to have like a balanced party. That all that sort of stuff is just like something you should be really trying to focus on. Because it improves the experience of playing through dungeons, but also because it can just help you have better drops, things like that. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We have a balanced 2-party team with a Quantum Fixer and a Time Warrior. I don't know if you noticed, but when you went into the dungeon, it said recommended classes, and the recommended classes were Quantum Fixer and Time Warrior. And our levels are the same, and we're in a dungeon that's the right level range. So we've kind of like checked all those boxes off. So we don't have any negative modifiers really. The only negative modifier would be that our party is small. And how it works, how drop rates work, is that every single person in your party is an extra modifier for your dice roll. So the more people that you have in the party, the higher the chance that each and every one of you will have to get an NFT. So it's not like oh no, there's 6 people in here, now I'm going to have less chance for an NFT. Every single person gives you a boost on your NFT drop modifier, and vice versa.
Nice, smart. Okay, cool.
So right now we're in the healing tree circle. This will give us slowly generate our health and our mana. But what you can also do in these healing trees is you can emote by pressing X and do push-ups, and it'll actually give you a little minor buff, like a health slash sort of strength buff.
Do I get a buff?
Yeah, so you can see the little strong arm beside you. It basically just gives you like a little bit more like health and strength and stuff. As you're attacking, you'll notice that 4 circles kind of appear above your ability bar. The top row of those little symbols is your left click. The bottom row is your right click. So if you can do different combinations. Left right will be different than left left right, which will be different than left 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 right, you know. And the final one in that series is called a finishing move. And I've heard people say, I can't obviously validate this, but I've heard people say that, you know, like finishing, say, like a boss with a finishing move combo increases the chance of an NFT drop rate. But
I can't see how I can't get mine. Okay, there we go. I got it. So, okay, one of mine has a little arrow next to it. So it seems I have to do something specific if I want.
Exactly.
How do I know
wait.
what it is?
An arrow? I don't think.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's a finger pointing, I think, is what it is. So it's like, do I have to go to that direction or something? So you see the third strike. Do you see the little orange?
Oh, yeah.
The second one has something else on it. It's like a frost, like a.
Yeah, so.
Maybe it means it like hits them out of the way. But if I hit like left click, right click, it won't work. Or if I hit left click, right click, left click, it won't work. So I think there's like something I need to do to, or maybe that's just like a combo.
To do the KO one, you would need to click 3 times and then right click. But what you're noticing there, those little symbols, are actually what kind of like each sort of combo has a different effect that can happen. So when you see the ice thing.
Displaces them, that one maybe
the ice one probably slows them, and like mine are different as a time warrior. Mine are like different types of damage and stuff.
Yeah, no,
and it's also different.
Hit that one, it ends the combo, but I think it's because that's like a.
Yeah, I'm not very good with the combos, to be honest. So you saw that item appear, right? That appeared because it dropped for me, but I decided that you should pick it up. Because all the items that drop are player specific, and no one's going to be able to see your items unless you decide to share them. So while you're looking at an item, you'll see there's 3 different buttons. One of the buttons is R. This is a way that you can like see something that someone else, or see something that you dropped, but maybe you know someone in your party would actually prefer it. You can share the item, and yeah, like it's a great way to like, they call it the friendship saving mechanic.
And there was no alts, right? I asked that at the beginning. So it's like you have your one character, and then you can change how it plays with the stopwatches, essentially. But
I mean,
or do you like? Can you make alts?
I would think about each pocket watch as an alternate character.
Okay.
Like, because think about a pocket watch as a character sheet. So
you gotta level it up and everything. Yeah,
you start a new character every pocket watch you start. So I don't know. This
mechanic would be good for, you know, leveling up new people with other.
Totally.
Like if you're leveling up, you know, a new setup, right? And your friends already have gear, they could be dropping stuff to you to help you go faster, potentially, right?
Yep, but now especially all the items are level based and rank based. So like you can't.
So they'd be getting stuff that's good, yeah.
Before it was only stat based, and as like a level 5, I could be wearing like a level 30 thing as long as I had enough intelligence, for example. And you could really min-max your character so that like I could be sitting here with like a tier 5 legendary pocket watch at level 1 with wearing like level 30 gear, which kind of, it wasn't like, I enjoyed it, but also it does kind of like, it kind of breaks it a bit, in my opinion. So yeah,
I can see it being a player that is used to the other system, having to go back, losing your powers and stuff would suck. But.
Exactly. I felt like basically when all of these changes happened, I was like, I used to be a hero, but now I'm just a scrub. How do I play?
So yeah, I guess you always are gonna have, or like, there's some benefit at least you can get. You don't necessarily need to, but you might always have reasons why you might want to like run. If you have like a lower level friend, then you can just put on your new pocket watch and run with
exactly
it, right?
Yeah, so like in Silver Pass, I had so many different pocket watches because I wanted to play with so many different friends, and everyone was different level, right? So I had like a level 35 Chronomancer, a level 22 Time Warrior, a level 15 Quantum Fixer, a level 10 Shadowblade, and it is like a lot more fun to have like multiple pocket watches because you are going to want to play with different friends, and they're all going to be at different sort of
it's like an internal struggle for MMOs. Having to like make new alts and stuff to play with friends, so it seems like a pretty good system they have to deal with.
Yeah, and since nothing's instance or server based either, you don't have to worry about like, oh, I can't play with my friend in like Japan, or I can't play with my friend in Europe. Like you totally can. And
yeah, that's nice. You can just take turns with the like extra latency or whatever.
Pretty much, yeah. And honestly, like I play in servers that are like 160 ping and everything, and it's actually not that bad. It used to, like in Silver, it was a bit rough, like especially in the open world area. It was like pretty rubber bandy, but they've really improved that. Like it's a lot better. The amount of improvements they are making on this game really sort of gives me a lot of optimism for this game overall, because there's a lot of quality of life improvements that are happening and everything like that. So
yeah, when I first heard about the game, the way it was pitched to me was that they had some like big time, no pun intended, established devs, right, that have a lot of industry experience.
Totally. Silver Pass was like,
you're seeing the benefits for sure.
Like Silver Pass was basically like playing big time was 90% just trying to play big time, and then 10% actually getting to play big time, because it was just so buggy and crashy. But like now it's I can't even, like, it barely crashes, there's barely any issues. It's a really fluid game already, and it's not even in its beta really yet.
Yeah, I like the combo system. I don't know, Noob, but I think there's something up with this, because I think what the that symbol is that your character moves forward with it. So I don't know why I can't continue the combo after that. But oh, there we go. I got one. I think it's maybe it's just mistiming then on my part.
Yeah, you just probably just gotta get used to it.
I was able to go get a combo there and go up to the top. So I might be able to do that one and finish on the bottom's power attack too.
There we go.
Huge.
First dungeon done.
True. I think the timing window might be tighter than I. Is it different timing for like different moves in that combo, or is it always the same, like between classes?
I think it's more weapon specific, right? So like one of the ones that would probably be the easiest to land the finishing combo would be the two-handed Warhammer, because it's like the slowest but does like the most damage per hit generally.
Thou wishes to survive this tale.
Come on, computer.
Wait, these are all... I don't know the lore here, I just realized fully. So we're like time traveling, and these are like all historical figures, because we're talking to Einstein, now we're talking to Ben Franklin.
Exactly. So Time's End, that's where we are. And my understanding of the lore is basically that this is like the final frontier for humans, but it was brought on by a number of historical figures who've traveled through time and basically broke the universe. And we're like kind of trying to put it back together.
Okay.
And there's a lot of lore coming out soon. They're like constantly working on it, so I'm really excited to see how the universe sort of fleshes out and see like a consistent storyline that sort of threads through the whole thing. But right now there's just basically flavor text from all of these historical figures. It's kind of really neat and novel. But if you hang out in their Discord, you can get a little bit more of a taste about the whole story, for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I'm a little... I mean, I love sci-fi in general. Time travel gets a bit crazy, but I also like history, so I mean, I like feel like there's a lot of interesting potential here for sure.
Totally.
I'm already getting sucked in though, where I'm like, man, I need some nice armor. My guy looking scrawny, I need to grind crazy and get some shit.
Yeah, you totally can. And right now too, especially since it's early access, like the second market is kind of a treasure trove if you're just looking to like make yourself look cool. Like you can do it on a budget for sure, because there's like pretty much 3,500 of almost each one of the NFTs that you can get so far. And so when you think about supply and demand, there's plenty of supply right now, and there's only about somewhere between 14,000 and 20,000 players right now, right? But once this opens up and it starts tapping into the larger MMORPG market, we're looking at millions of players. So a lot of these, especially the early NFTs, are going to be more highly sought after. There'll be a lot more demand, and those 3,500 per NFT are going to be measly, right? So
yeah, where do you get the numbers? Like you said, there's like 14,000 or whatever. Like, is that numbers?
Yeah. So yeah, the 14,000 is the number that I was given by Big Time.
Okay.
So that would include like gold, silver, jade, and ruby passes so far. But ruby passes, I believe, will bring us up to... Oh, I'm not going to give an exact number, but I don't remember anymore right now. But it'll bring us up.
Is that how they're doing it then? They have like, a set number where they're planning to get to, say, X thousand through the ruby pass now, and then...
Pretty much. They're constantly working on bringing the game up to scale, right? So, at Silver Pass, they really could only accommodate... What was it? How many ruby passes did they give away? I can't remember. Silver passes. Several hundred, 1,000. No, I think there was like a couple thousand silver passes. But now, like, they're able to accommodate like the numbers that you can in Ruby Pass, and then by the time it makes official launch, they're going to be able to scale to like a worldwide release, right? So
gold is the rarest. Yeah, it's the most limited and most expensive, because you're saying it's like a tiered release. So
gold passes were like an ETH to get, but you had way higher drop rates, and you had opportunities to get loot that you can only get in gold pass.
So I just noticed that I just found like a rock I could mine. Is there profession skills tied to that, or is that just the secondary thing? Like you can just harvest whatever you come across?
So yeah, so the mining mechanic is going to become really, really important once spaces are implemented in the game, which is, like I was saying, like basically Big Time's version of land. Mm-hmm. Because when you mine those materials, that's going to be one of the requirements, things you're going to need to upgrade and craft new NFTs in your space. Right now, it's basically the biggest use case is just during dungeons, there might be a quest like, oh, you need to mine three things or something like that. And you can collect the materials, but there's no point in keeping the materials, because there will be like Big Time wide reset where everybody's in-game items are just wiped before full release.
Oh, okay. So like you'll get to keep your, I guess, cosmetic NFTs, but all the character progression and all your gear is getting wiped.
Exactly. Which has happened a few times before, right? Like it happened between Jade Pass and Ruby Pass. And it happened again in Ruby Pass. And then, so there'll probably be at least one more. There's definitely going to be at least one more wipe. So you can mine the materials and just like sell them. But unless it's like a legendary, or it's generally like not that lucrative. So what you'll see probably, like, as spaces open up, the whole market is going to change, and it's going to be crazy. And you'll see like guilds and clans basically start forming who have a myriad of different spaces, and there will be basically people be able to employ people in a number of ways to gather resources, farm dungeons, things like that, in order to collect items and NFTs that they can upgrade and augment and stuff like that in all these different ways. So once the spaces start to be implemented, this game is going to get pretty nuts. It's going to be pretty cool. These fire things are going to kill us if we get touched by them. We don't have to go this way. We could go straight to the boss room. It's totally up to you.
I mean, we might as well go this way. Oh shit. Which way is the boss room? Is it over here? As it looks. Nope.
Nah, this will be some loot though. Oh wait.
It's a hole that I can survive in? Yeah. Oh no, I burnt. I'm
Go
dead.
over to the exit.
Ah!
Crawl to me. Yeah, we're too weak. It's all good. So yeah, we could go like, there'll be some loot in a couple of those corridors, but up to you.
Oh wait, there's loot around here?
Yeah.
In the like
turn right. So there's different tiers of loot chests now too, but if you're not the right level, rank, etc. for that chest, A, you might not even be able to open it up. B, it might just spit out nothing, or it might spit out garbage. But it could be the opposite. You could get something really cool. But it is important to note that no NFTs come out of the chests, at least as far as I've ever seen.
Interesting. So all the NFTs are off monsters?
Yeah, every monster's a dice roll for sure. Obviously, some monsters have a higher drop rate than others, and the boss room mobs tend to have the highest drop rate. But like, I've seen NFTs drop off of like the weakest drone bugs before.
Okay, so similar to Lost Relics, but I think in Lost Relics it's generally been more biased towards chests.
Interesting. Oh yeah, there's also another attack you can do by just jumping and attacking. It kind of does like a slam.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I've done that a couple times by accident. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. Hey Frosty, how's it going? NFT's seasonal. What will that set stop dropping after reset?
So I think they're talking about how like there's gold pass specific NFTs, there's silver pass specific NFTs, there's jade pass specific NFTs, and I'm sure there'll be, you know, like he's saying, basically seasons of NFTs as they drop.
Yeah, just basically every game is doing like battle pass type season stuff these days.
Yeah.
Seems like a good fit for this too.
Okay, we got this.
Man, he don't stop. What the hell? Loop's going crazy.
Totally.
Because I feel like we went down. We must have missed the one correct path maybe both times, or I guess maybe
there's so many offshoots, and it kind of depends on your play style, right? Like some people are like more like speedrunners who just want to like do the objectives and go straight to the boss, but other people are like, you know, they want to explore every nook and cranny. They want a full clear. They want to get every single mob just because what if you miss it and then there's an NFT, you know, like that kind of a concept.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of in both camps where I do kind of think like, oh shit, yeah, you don't want to miss that one special one with the drop. But yeah, I'm not a huge rusher either way, for sure.
Another dead end.
It's beatable. So are the dungeons also, are they like randomly generated?
100%. Yeah. So
we did.
They're randomly generated.
Like layout or something.
Yeah, like they'll be obviously very similar layouts, but they are randomly generated. I actually experienced something that I've never experienced yesterday, where an area that normally there's like a ramp that you can come up. Actually, it's just like this area, but it was randomly generated in a way where the ramp where you can come back up to this area was blocked, and it was next to impossible to get back up. Actually, this one's similar. Huh.
Uh-oh.
I gotta report that bug. But I think at least this way we're going to the boss from here, so we won't need to backtrack.
Let's hope.
And then there's also randomly generated like combinations of quests and mobs, so keeps things fresh.
To heal, and then I forgot. Thinking about switching my weapon. Oh my god!
It's okay. We'll revive you if I can live.
Damn, this ain't too casual after all, folks. Be careful out there. That was a cool mechanic. I like that. I shouldn't have died there. I was not.
It's okay. We gotta find you a revive shrine now, though. There are revive shrines, so oh shit! But remember, you can't really backtrack.
Yeah, that revive was interesting. How you have the timer counting down, so you gotta try and get it off, but then the mobs interrupt.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works. And then if you don't succeed in that, then I have to find a revive shrine. It looks like the nearest one is actually straight ahead, though. So I'm gonna have to like just probably run for it.
Oh, I'm flying. I'm a ghost. Sorry, I'm with you. I'm a drone bug now. I'm flying through there.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think part of the problem too is I was using, well, one, I should upgrade my skills,
oh no,
but I was using one of the other weapons probably instead of my sword and shield. Might have been unwise.
Okay, revive shrine is 250 meters away.
There's some big drone bugs to go through.
Don't touch me.
I think we got, what, 2 more we'll give away? So.
Yeah, and then I'll give one away to your chat too through the Twitter giveaway, so they better make sure they participate in that Twitter giveaway for an extra chance. Ow.
Yeah, easy chance, guys. Twitter with the amount of giveaways people do. Okay, wait, I just set about using this weapon. I gotta stop. So I see another skill showed up. Is that because I leveled up, or is it like, is that unlocked? So it's like grayed out.
Sometimes there's some sort of like punching skill that tends to appear, but it doesn't really, you can't use it. I don't get it. Yeah, I usually just ditch it because I don't understand it. But yeah, I do need to allocate some new skill points. I'm sure you probably do too. The spaces are basically going to be like Big Time's version of land. They're your own little pocket dimension. Inside there, you're going to be able to craft a bunch of different items and NFTs. And it's also going to be how you create their currency. So they're going to be, spaces are going to be the only way that you're going to be able to craft tokens.
Push up. Let's go. Get juiced. Someone knows what you got for 10 artifacts? So it's a chance, it's like a loot box. A chance at a random NFT, but it could also just be like a random gear item or something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not 100% NFT.
Oh shit.
Holy shit, what was that?
Retreat! Oh no, not again.
We're not ready for these guys. Level 5s, okay. What the?
Okay, go away from me.
Like, I got stunned and then
I'm gonna try and kite them, but go back to the center area there. I'm gonna kite them away and then try and get you. So go the opposite direction.
Yeah, I got a shield though. It seems like I should.
No!
Should be able to.
Alright, we failed. We were too ambitious.
Damn, actual fail.
Yeah.
Rip.
Big L. You know, we could probably take a tour of Time's End. Give you like you can either take the scenic route or we can take a little bit of a shortcut. Check out some other sort of realms in the area.
I was feeling powerful, man. What can I say? I keep getting gift subs. I'm getting a little bit arrogant, man. It's I don't want to, disparage your guys' generosity, but it's pretty much your fault that I'm playing like this. So, when game will be accessible? I don't think that's known because it seems like from what Jay was saying earlier that they're really trying to improve things and scale so that the servers can handle the load and everything. So I think it's going to depend on how the process goes with them building up their capacity.
Totally depends, but it does seem like
giving it a lot of Ruby passes right now, so it seems like things are looking promising.
Yep, and I would like. My opinion is that I expect to see full launch before 2023, but it could be like early 2023.
Well, there you go.
So we're taking the scenic route, just so you know.
Yeah, I like the art style.
Yeah, the art style is great. It also kind of like the whole vibe and the art style kind of reminds me of games like Borderlands. Borderlands like a little bit different art style, but it's similar.
Yeah, the kind of sprint animation and sort of cell shading. It's got a bit of that. I don't know what you'd call it, like outlined, edged, high definition on the edge. Edges kind
of look good. I think that's like you're basically describing what cell shading is. I think as far as I know about it, but I'm not a video game artist or a animator.
So he's been playing for like 3 or 4 days, I think, and he's seen like 7 NFTs drop.
Nice.
He's won the role, but like, and it seems like stuff's dropping pretty frequently. I haven't had the marketplace, but
yeah, honestly, I kind of expected the drop rate to be worse in Ruby Pass, because I do still see NFTs dropping all the time, and
yeah, I mean, I'm from playing a lot of Lost Relics, so I was pretty prepared to hear that it was like, you might see one in a group once a month or something kind of thing, right? But it sounds like they're still pretty good.
If you have a party of 6 and you grind like 3 or 4 or 5 dungeons, like there's really good chance that somebody's going to get an NFT. So where we are right now is the Wastelands. This is kind of like for level ranges between like maybe 13, 11 to 25, 30. Somewhere around there. You can find different dungeons. And then we're going to go up to the Icy Wastes and check that out. Here's an ancient egg. So you see there's different, like, some of the dungeons look different, right? Like this one has these 2 arches over it and it's golden. So there's actually different.
The one that just like expired that we ran to as well was different looking. I noticed that.
Exactly.
Pillars next to it or something.
So there's different tiers of dungeons. This one is a gold dungeon. So when you're hunting for NFTs, obviously higher drop rates in the more elite dungeons as well.
And is that just based on level, or is that independent of level? There's like a role for
independent
tier and level. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so like you could find a dungeon that's gold dungeon between like level 12 and 20, or you could find a gold dungeon between level 40 and 50. Really, like you'd want to be trying to play within your level range, but also looking for dungeons that obviously are like a higher tier. Like you can still obviously run through the sort of more basic dungeons and you're still obviously going to be having plenty of chances for NFTs, but if you're trying to like really capitalize and you have an actual good party that can manage an elite dungeon,
level tied since they're cosmetic, right?
Exactly. So the NFTs don't affect your player stats or anything like that at all, which is good because you don't want to have a pay to win situation where it's like, oh well, I just bought like all the best NFTs and now I'm god. Like we don't want that.
NPC.
Yeah, they're like dummies.
Thank God they didn't fight back because I slashed it before I even thought about it in level 33.
He would have wrecked you. So this is the Icy Waste Outpost. This is where you can get a lot of really premium items. All these vendors, pretty crazy stuff. And it's also generally where you can get the best prices for your items, because you will notice that different vendors will offer you different prices for your stuff. And even if you switch between when you're in a vendor, there's a limited offer tab and an always available tab. You'll notice that even depending on which tab you're on, they'll offer you different prices for your items.
Wow, okay. So like the limited offer is the specific NPC, I guess, and then the always available is like the generic price that I'm assuming they all play. Is that how it works? Or
limited offer is like they only have one of those items. But the always available is like we'll always have this item. And the always available tab is usually like potions or things like that. So always good to check the always available tab, because you'll notice as you play, like if you're like a rogue, for example, like a shadow blade, you're going to be hungry for speed pots all the time. And if you find a vendor that always has speed pots, you're going to want to make sure you're there regularly topping up on your potion. And same thing like with summon party portions. Those ones you burn through pretty quickly because you're going to be like trying to keep your party together and someone's going to be lagging behind or who knows, and you can just summon your buddy. I haven't done that to you yet. Sometimes whatever. Do you see that portal?
Yeah.
Go in it. But you can be a really big troll and say you like you have someone in your party you don't really like, you can like stand right at the edge of a cliff and then use a summon party portal. And
I usually troll the people I like, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or like there's like acid water in some dungeons, and you can like stand right on the edge of like an acid water lake and be like, summon party. Oh, run. Oh. Don't fight that. Don't fight that. Run. It's way too high level for us. Exactly. So we're going to end the experience in the Icy Waste Castle. It's this giant sort of glacier we got over here. So,
ooh, pretty.
I think the entrance to the castle is actually over here.
I might be bringing a friend with me.
You should give up eventually.
It's like follow the accounts, retweet, standard thing. And then the other giveaways would be just marbles. So I'll run marbles after this. You just hit ! play once we load it up and hope for the best. Easy.
Yeah, so you'll notice this place is for level ranges like between level 30 really and level 55. Like it goes up quite high.
Notice that mob was level 33 or something.
This is as good a place as any. It's a pretty nice view.
Way up.
GG, man, we did it. You played big time for the very first time, and now you get to bring along some homies too, because you still got some more Ruby passes to give away.
Hell yeah, baby. Feels good, man.